the show begin. Next generation for the win. We're going all in. All together now, let's begin. Let the show begin.
So, thanks all for coming here from half around the world. I'm a little bit embarrassed here, but I'm actually going to start with a quote from Chris Hemmeter. This seems like the Chris Hemmeter event, you know. So, Chris, he said that, and I read in one of the old newsletters, he said, I think the whole world of hospitality, real estate, and monetization of hospitality, real estate is going to be the biggest fundamental shift happening pre-pandemic, but also accelerated by the pandemic. So obviously, this is a bit part of that. So we're going to go straight into it. Aki, we're going to start with you, and if you don't mind, we're going to start with a video that you've made, you know, for your property. So if we could shoot that off, Jerry. So cute. I feel I want to go immediately. So, Aki, tell me a little bit about what you do. I think you're an operating platform in the hospitality space. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're working with real estate companies.
Yes.
Tell me how this came about and what you actually do.
Yeah. So myself and co-founders, we studied hotel management in university, and as the hotel nerds we always wanted to create our own brand. We didn't have the capital to buy building. We didn't have the capital to lease, so we took the good old management contract model like Accor and Marriott. And when we finally got together, we made our first hotel. It was 2020, so COVID happened. But we were able to survive it, and the returns caught attention of more institutional real estate investors who are our partners. So we were able to open more in the past 4 years.
Great, and we'll of course dive more into you know, what you're doing as we go here. Peter, and this is your first time in Singapore, first WiT in Singapore ever, right? Aki?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is.
So welcome, great to have you here. Peter, it's also your first time here in Singapore with WiT. Welcome, it's great to have you here.
First time with WiT, but we've got a hidden secret. We love Singapore. We've probably been 20 times to Singapore.
Okay, yeah, we all love Singapore. Sorry. We're actually going to go do you now. We have to do it in order here because we have these videos. Sure. Wsinee, welcome. You have, however, been at WiT in Singapore before, so that's great. And we're going to start up with a new video that you've just have made. So we're just going to show that first.
What if we could bring out the healthiest and happiest version of oneself? The version who knows themselves better. What if you think you need a massage, but it's actually about your posture? And what if we diagnose you as a whole? Body, mind, and lifestyle, not just the symptoms. What if we could treat your wellness by retreating you from stress? What if we personalized your treatments because your health concerns differ from others? What if improving your joints is just about what you eat? Or you are healed by doing nothing? And if feeling well results in looking well? When our body feels better, is it from changing our lifestyle, body, or mind? What if traditional healing is the medical advancement? And what if medical innovations could enhance the traditional methods? What if we integrate all the wisdoms with science, and taking advantage of their unique healing benefits that complement one another? Wouldn't it be good for you to be able to define your health goals and rediscover your new lifestyle? Isn't the best investment is to invest in oneself? RAKxa. Health is wealth.
I think half the audience here are definitely going to go already. Peter and I, we've already said that we're coming. So great to have you here. Health is the new wealth, is what you're saying. We had a great conversation earlier today. You have a background in real estate and you turned your passion into your profession. Tell us a little bit how this whole thing came about.
Well, I first started my career in real estate with Thailand's biggest retail developer. And then passion turns profession as I found myself always going to the yoga studio, doing yoga, and then learning more about myself, learning more about health. And then when I was approached by RAKxa, why not?
Yeah, so obviously we're going to go deeper, much deeper in that. This is not a spa on steroids, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Peter, my fellow Capetonian, I think let's show this video first. I picked one of the many houses that Peter has in his portfolio, and let's see if we can show that video first. I've been driving past this house since they started to build it. I still drive past it every day when I go to the office. An incredible place. I think your business in resident came about, if I'm not completely wrong, partly through your wife's Elana, who is also here. Very nice to have her here as well. Through her connections in the art world. Tell us how this business came about.
Look, first, I'm very fortunate to have a wonderful wife. Always been very supportive, and I always say to everybody, it's like the frog in the hot water syndrome. I came from the interior side, the management side, and then all of a sudden you realize, but nobody's looking after the guest. So I've been very fortunate. That just grew organically from there, but definitely started with my wife.
So did the where did it start? Did it start with the properties or the fact that you had access to all these super rich people around the world?
Look, I think it's a little bit of both. It's a very trusted relationship, so we're very fortunate. We met you in your early days in Cape Town, and you supported my wife. What happened in practice is that I have a sideline where we did interior projects. So my clients became more wealthy, my projects grew, and they would naturally, when they arrive at the property must be perfect. So almost like default, I went into management. And then secondly, but don't you have a chef and a transfer? So we kind of in default went into concierge. And then we started selling through the normal channels.
Right.
But I realized like it is still very much fragmented. I think our product is not still optimized on the OTA level. It's still very domestic. And then you realize, but people are taking this money and they're doing nothing. So what we changed is to say that let's focus on the guest. You know, who picks up the suitcase? You know, you can't trust the house owner. You know, so we believe that we are positioned there in the middle between the house owner and an amazing property.
Yeah. And just give us some ideas, you know, so how many properties do you represent today?
Look, a lot of people don't know this, but Cape Town was the first city in the world that had drinking water, that ran out of drinking water, and this annihilated my business. So early on, I said, I don't want to grow bigger than 50 properties. So I want to dominate the top 50 in Cape Town. And then I decided, but look, I'm going insolvent. I might as well try something else. But would these families trust me in the rest of the world? So we started with, I was criticized a lot to say, and then I realized this world that is opening up.
Right.
So today I've got global aspirations. On the website, we now have 605 villas.
Yeah.
And my dream is to represent the top 2,500 in the world.
Right. Aki, so you have, I can't remember now, you have five properties in Tokyo?
10 hotels in Tokyo.
Sorry?
10.
10 properties in Tokyo right now, yeah. And how many rooms? How many keys?
Each hotel is about 20 to 40 keys, so in total it's just about 300 keys.
Okay. Yeah. And you have one place in Thailand, but how many keys do you have?
60 villas.
16.
60.
60. Yeah, it's an amazing place. And I'm going to continue with Pieter here. You said something here that really struck me. It's essential that a villa just doesn't match the wow factor of its location, but knock it out of the park. Now, how do you knock your customers out of the park?
Well, actually, they have certain goals when they visited us. But when you say knockout, I would say the number one complaint that we always get is they don't want to leave. And they keep coming back at least once a year. And the only thing they said is they feel like home when they're with us. So may I take that as a knockout factor?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the result speaks for itself. Tell me some stories. You told me about some guests actually never want to leave.
Yeah. So we always have a returning guest to us because when they're with us, we take care of them. And every unit, the restaurant, the therapist, the medical, they all know you. Behind the back of the house, it feels like 7 people, the doctors, chef, physiotherapist, the trainer, are working together to work out a program just for one of you. And so we have a guest who already revisit 8 times in 2 years. And one of the guests, he stayed first time 2 months, and then return again this year and stay for 5 months. He lost 10 kilos, but it's not just losing weight, he feels so much younger.
So I think your big problem is going to be you're going to need a bigger boat, because if you start to have these repeat people, you won't have space for them. You will have long waiting lines. And I couldn't find a single negative reviews about your properties anywhere. How do you do that?
I'm sure if you dig deep enough, you'll find some crazy customers' reviews. But I think no secret, just nailing the basics of operations, right? So clean room, fully equipped kitchen, laundry, interesting arts, and just very friendly staff. Yeah.
And how important do you think the community aspects is of the stickiness of your product?
It's very important. So every week we provide like free happy hours for our guests to get to know our staff and each other more. They develop better bonds like that, and they feel more closer to the brand, and they feel like leaving good reviews also. So yeah, we're still experimenting with that with our in-house tech to make guests connect with each other more seamlessly. But yeah, something that we're very value. Yeah.
But alcohol is the main lubricant,
of
as
course.
usual. Okay, and so what do you do to sort of make people to knock it out of the park with your customers?
I think the first 2 days is critical. So that's why I'm not always liked, because we say no 9 times a day. It's critical on what the guest will experience. So if the house owner doesn't have that guest focus, well, then we're going to fail. The problem is within the hotel industry, there's hundreds of staff, thousands of staff, but now you've paid more and there's no staff, or there's a very few. So we start with the absolute basics, hospitality grade cleaning, then you start adding, but again, without me going insolvent. So I had one guest now that ordered 120 of our robes. Now, it's not that wonderful. It's like a great robe, but okay. So he enjoyed it. It's almost like what she is saying, and what he's saying is we are experiencing this. All our clients is healthy. Nobody, everybody is worried about longevity, but let's just do the basics well. So when you walk in, I want you to start relaxing.
Yeah, so just because people have a lot of money doesn't mean that they have good taste. It's normally they often have quite crappy taste, to be honest. At least that's my experience.
It's interesting. I've got the opposite view.
Oh, okay.
They've got amazing taste. They're very refined. They normally know more than you. They know your market better.
Yeah.
So they get fed through the private banker, personal assistants. They get fed information that is amazing. So maybe we're fortunate.
Yeah, you probably are. So let's talk a bit about something else. Wsinee, I think you have really managed to use Thailand as your competitive advantage, both the destination, of course, the weather, and also your medical expertise. That's, how you've built this on. Tell us a little bit about, how you've made this into your thing, and maybe that's why it's hard for you to expand it into other geographical areas.
Well, these days, when people talk about longevity, right? Longevity is, previously people think it's expanding the lifespan, but now it's more than just lifespan. It's not the years you add on, but it's health span, which is adding the quality to life. So with that, it will be a proactive approach and a preventive approach. And usually when people will be seeking medical, not when they're ill, but they want to see the doctor to enhance their health. So imagine if you want to improve or maintain your life quality, but then you walk into a hospital, how would you feel?
Terrible.
So with that approach of you want to stay stronger, younger, then why do you have to feel not so well when you walk to see the professions? And that's why we have to bring in the hospitality approach to deliver the health and well-being, the happiness, right? They feel relaxed when they visit RAKxa. And that's how hospitality and medicals integrated into each other.
So can I get a glass of champagne when I come to your place or not?
It depends on your health condition. It will be personalized based on your labs.
Stephan, can I make a comment? What is very interesting what she just said. Like most chefs today, look, I'm not talking about fine dining chefs, but most chefs today comes from a restaurant. So it's either if you were lucky, you're in a fine dining, but normally it's in a restaurant, or they go, but they don't really focus on healthy living. They make sure that the food tastes nice. So I think your product is amazing.
Thank you.
And I think it's the future, because how do you train the chef that it's an inviting environment, you don't feel like the doctor's room, it doesn't feel like a restaurant, but there's not too much fat and butter, and how do you have quality ingredients and still the food's very tasty?
Yeah, and I think you told me that you used to put up all this welcome stuff, with food and drinks and champagne and stuff like that, and they come and then they're all vegans and they don't drink.
Yeah, look, we started very strong. We've got this, and then like the guy would walk past and like.
So at your place, you use alcohol as a lubricant. In your case, a little bit different. In your case, according to your health profile. Better watch out there. Tell me a little bit about distribution. How do you find your customers?
We find our customers, majority still rely on OTA, Booking.com, Airbnb, about 30-40%. And then we are able to also find...
40% direct, 40% via...
30% direct,
30%
and
direct.
70% from online travel agencies.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Peter, how do you find? I think it's through Ilana.
This is the difficult question. OTA is less than 5%. I still think it's based on a lot of trust, a lot of word of mouth. I'm extremely fortunate that we are positioned there. Like, I'll give you an example. I did the ruling family of Bahrain. They personally phoned me, and they didn't book until they realized I did the King of Jordan. We very, like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Idris Elba, Trevor Noah, but there's always one thread of somebody saying to somebody, so this is the difficult one, and it's not an easy answer.
So you're on standby 24/7. You can't really F up anywhere.
Yeah, we need to. We still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting space. I love this space. I don't know why. Every morning I still wake up more excited. And it's amazing guests and amazing house owners.
Right. And how do you find your customers?
So definitely direct, because first, the experience starts way before you arrive. It starts from the first contact of how are you and what you're looking to work on yourself. So that's why there's a lot of consultation with our wellness advisor to help identify your goal and your length of stay. And it's a lot of word of mouth because it's very experiential, very personal. So even though the guests are on the same program, but the treatments, the experience, how they feel would be totally different.
And so tell me, so I think you told me that one of the Victoria's Secret models, she came out and, she was just one of those paying guests and she was raving about you and became a big ambassador for you. That obviously must have helped.
Very, very much. So she visited us 2 years ago, a solo trip before the new year as to reset and restart her year ahead. She loved it so much, she wrote an experience, a testimonial on British Vogue, and then returned again on her birthday. And then she helped to spread the word of mouth. And then just a few weeks ago, her friends visited us to detox and prepare her body for the Victoria's Secret that just happened yesterday.
Right. So obviously, you are, and I think obviously you all are extremely cautious and picky about your, the service delivery and the quality of your product. So how scalable is that in your case, for instance? I think you're very careful about that, right?
Yes. How we expand is actually we have to really think about it. We have expanded into a smaller format earlier this year in Italy and in Aspen. But what really is the key is, number one, location for sure. 2, the culture and the people. Because for us, it's not just the hardware, but it's the human touch, the caring of the specialist to deliver the well-being.
Yeah. And Peter, how do you see this?
Stephan, can I just quickly go back to your previous question? It was very interesting where they said that social media, the biggest selling tool would become YouTube. And I agree with this. What is interesting, we had this video made. I thought we'll get 10,000 views. We ended up with 6.2 million. And one of my main houses, we had 100% occupancy. I can't say to you that those people booked, but it was just interesting. I think what I'm trying to do is scalable, but up to the 2,500. I was interested. It was interesting for me to see Booking has 29 million listings. So I think a corporate will struggle in this space, but I think that the way we're doing it, I think I have proof of concept. But if you say to me, I think it will always be a relative small part of the market.
Sure. How do you see this?
We wanted to expand also. We want to be the best apartment-style hotel brand in Japan. And the way we split, we want to diversify the brand. So the one that needs more attention, more control will be categorized as a higher category brand, and sectional will be one set to scale.
So we're really running out of time here, as one always does when one have fun. Give one piece of advice to young, I don't know how many young people there are here, to be honest, but for those few that are here, give one piece of advice to young aspiring entrepreneurs. Start with you, Aki.
I would give this advice to the younger myself, I think, is to always leave a mind to show care and appreciation to your future teammates. And you grow your business, it's also growing your teammates' career paths. And seeing them grow and them happy and also happy customers is sometimes more rewarding than seeing the business grow. So
I love that. I love that.
I've got 3 pieces of advice. The one is start. The second one is what they said on stage is you have to have grit. And thirdly, find yourself great mentors. There's amazing people that want to help young people.
Like yourself, yeah. Wsinee.
For me would be find your passion and then contribute to a positive significance with the passion that you have.
Yeah, okay. So quality over quantity, right? And looking after the customer and doing, what our heart feels is right. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Aki, Peter, Wsinee. Thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Next generation for the win. We're going all in. Take center stage now. Let's begin. Let the show